Hello, good afternoon. All right, let's have a look and see what's going on. All right. Uh, yeah, we had a little bit of a crash yesterday, a little bit of a drop. Uh, all my coins were red. Now they're coming back. They're all coming back. So we're having a little bit of a bounce, maybe a dead cat, maybe. Have to have a look and see what's going on at all these tokens. I'm looking to rebalance a little bit as well. So I'm going to have a look at the strength of all the different types of tokens. And I think it's good to have a look at your tokens and kind of cut the weak ones, because it's not good token if a token is weak. Some tokens are weaker and you want to kind of stick to the strong ones, I think. So when you get these kind of crashes, it's good to reevaluate a little bit and reconsider your portfolio and not be too spread out. So anyway, let's have a look at this. Let's hide all this stuff. I'm going to have a look at Bitcoin first. So it's quite interesting because we had a drop right back up. Big volume. Higher low at the moment. Creating a higher low. Lost this value area low back into this little value area low. Still under the point of control, but maybe not as bearish as it could have been. Could have been more bearish than this. Could have rejected from the value area low here. And when I kind of expanded a little bit, you can actually see that we are the value area low held, you know. So with the price went down all the way down to here. I'll include this candle. You can actually see that we are in the value area low. We didn't actually lose it technically. Point of control is still a major resistance, but not as bearish as appears. And actually what I'm seeing now is a little bit of a triangle pattern. No, a little bit of a triangle pattern forming here. Slightly leaning to the downside. Anyway, something going on here. So we're kind of, it was still range bound though. We're still range bound. We're still above this high. Let's see how the daily closed yesterday. It closed all right. It didn't close terribly. It could have closed a lot worse. Closed within the candle, within the previous day. So it's an inside, technically it's an inside candle. This low is holding. We're still holding here, aren't we? So I think this is still quite bullish, even though yesterday I was a little bit bearish. Looking at the price action now, I'm not feeling so bearish. I was bearish yesterday because I thought that after bouncing off the point of control, we should have taken out this high. And then the news hit. So that I didn't plan that, but obviously that confirmed my bias. And again, it's the same thing. now you're hitting the lows, you're thinking, well, if this was bearish, we should have been going down, and actually we're not. We didn't even take out the low. Same idea. Don't take out the high, don't take out the low. So I'm not feeling as bearish as I was when we were at the highs and we failed to take the high. Now we're at the lows, failing to take the lows. I'm not feeling as bearish. Yeah, I wasn't feeling as bullish at the highs. I'm not feeling as bearish at the lows. Okay, so it's kind of, I still appreciate that we're in a range, and we're just kind of forming some kind of range bound behavior before we get a decision. This at the moment, as long as we're holding this kind of demand zone here, I think we're okay. Yeah, even though I considered some kind of further to the downside, I considered this, I am still considering it. We can easily reject off the point of control. We can easily go down at the beginning of the week. Totally can happen. So I'm not writing this off. We could break down, bounce, and then still come up, or we could easily, right now we can easily kind of still go up. Like, it's really 50-50. There's no one really knows what's going to happen, but you don't get bullish at the highs, you don't get bearish at the lows. And I think it could have gone down, and it hasn't gone down yet. So maybe the attack, which I've been talking about as well, I've been talking about this attack for a couple of weeks now, and it finally happened yesterday, with a little bit of FUD. That I don't know if it was fake news, a little bit of FUD with SEC and Tether, and that kind of gives the market a little bit of a scare. But probably a lot of people who are shaking are back in. Probably if some people skim their position a little bit, they're probably back in right now. And we're still expecting the bull market. We're still hoping that Trump wins. We're still expecting higher prices. You know, it's kind of where I'm at with regards to BTC at the moment. It is under the point of control, but it is above this. It is holding nicely on this pivot, and we're making higher lows. See that? So as long as it does that, even we're just in a range bound structure, potentially some kind of flag, and we have to see if we can break out. Either way, we could break out up, break out down. If we do break out up, it'll be easy to see, because all we have to do is take out this high. It's really easy. We're quite close. So a breakout to the upside would be very easy to achieve, and going down will be a lot harder to stomach, because we'll start losing key support levels, and then it'll start to get really bearish again. Okay, so we have to bear that in mind. It won't be an easy ride down, because there are a lot of support levels to contend with. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to reject from this area. At the moment, we're holding some kind of support here, so we are consolidating underneath resistance after we've broken out above a previous pivot. So technically this is still quite bullish. Consolidation underneath resistance after we've broke out of this pivot. The minute you lose that pivot and you reject from this value area, then actually it becomes quite bearish, because you've failed. It's like a failed auction, and we haven't put in a higher high, we've put in a lower high. So at the moment it's not bearish. And I'm not feeling bearish today. Doesn't mean it can't go down, but I don't necessarily think it will. I think the biggest shakeout happened when the Israel attacked yesterday Iran. I saw in the news today that 2 people were killed. There was lots of explosions. It was a very minuscule tit for tat, and I was watching the Iranian news actually this morning, and they kind of said their propaganda machine is in play, saying that the Iranian Defense Air Force, whatever, has thwarted the Israeli attack. So they're playing it down, and so that's good. If Iran is playing it down, that's good. They're not drumming up the war drums. They're not stirring the tensions. They're playing down the news, and that's kind of what we want to see, because if Iran is playing it down, then they might not retaliate. They may not do anything. So that's pretty good. RH, good afternoon. How's it going? So I'm kind of like feeling a little bit bullish. I like this volume yesterday. A lot of volume was put out and the price didn't put a lower low. So I'm feeling bullish about what we experienced yesterday. I'm not feeling bearish at all. So probably we'll have a little bit of a altcoins will start running again this weekend. Probably. Let me have a look at ooh, what is this? BTCD almost hit 60%. I was hoping for 60%. It got to 59.74. Really 60% for me is the limit of BTC dominance. I'm not expecting BTC dominance to break through 60%. It's a psychological level. It's coming into this previous structure. It'll be at the top of this extended range. I honestly don't think we're going to go beyond 60%. So we are at the limit, at some limit. And I mean, obviously I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict the future, but I do feel like we're coming to the limit of BTC dominance. You see there was a previous volume area here from years ago, from 2020. And you look, we've just hit the value area low of this value area. Look, you see that? We've just hit it today. We're trying to get into it. I don't think we're just going to get into it. And then maybe we can, maybe if Bitcoin can break out, then we can have a little bit of an alt season. That's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm expecting that. Let's have a look at ETH BTC. ETH BTC dumped. Look, it hits my alert. I didn't even get a freaking alert, which is annoying. But look, it's hit my little alert perfectly. Don't know why I didn't get an alert. Let me see why I didn't get an alert. Don't know why. So I think also ETH BTC is slowly but surely coming into higher time frame support. We're almost there. We're almost at the moment where we can explode. It will start with ETH probably, and Solana maybe, and then maybe some other kind of medium caps, maybe Binance. I'm feeling quite good. I'm feeling quite good about the markets. That's BTC. It's quite interesting because a lot of altcoins yesterday pulled back 10%, 15%, 20%. I can't show you because they're all green now. And TRVL didn't flinch. It was quite amazing to experience. Yeah. All my altcoins, I was looking at my portfolio. I was like, shit, what's going on? And then I looked at TRVL and look, there wasn't even a blip. Amazing, huh? So that was the TRVL drop. So yesterday when everything was crashing, look how much TRVL dropped. That was it. 6%. That was it. Really low volume drop. That was this was on KuCoin. Look at KuCoin. KuCoin, someone dumped a bit more. How much did they dump? Can I see? Someone sold 300,000 TRV on a KuCoin. This was Gate 42,000, and next nothing really there, probably there. So I'm quite fascinated that with this kind of drop, the whole market was crashing, but no one really, with TRVL, no one really bothered. And why did we not get a big sell-off on TRVL? Because it's bullish. It's bullish. And it basically goes to what I said yesterday. We've got bullish market structure. We've got some really amazing announcements. Partnership with Fetch. Some other things are coming. Staking is coming. Lots of things are coming. And we've successfully defended the lows. Peter Dell, hello. RH is saying, how do I know how much was sold? Well, look, RH, I'm just looking at the exchanges and I'm just looking at the volume, and I'm just specifically going to the candle, the drop here. You see that? So I'm just putting my cursor there and it says 42,000 volume. See that? So I'm assuming that 42,000 was sold and bought in that period, in that 1 hour period. That was the drop. So that was on KuCoin. And then I'm just looking at the other exchanges. If I go to my combined chart, this is all 4 exchanges, and look at the 1 hour period drop. You see this big candle here. This is the high volume candle. You see that? This is it. And in that 1 hour period, 321,000 TRVL was sold and bought. Just that was it. So on all 4 exchanges, basically the price of TRVL on average dropped 2%. And look, we're right back up. We're right back up. We've back up 1% all the way up. So while the whole market was crashing, TRVL didn't flinch. And oh wow, Peter Dell saying you finally made some profit with a meme called Modeng. 100, nice one, 3 days. Well, I'll have to check it out. So you know, when I'm looking at the structure is bullish. We're putting higher highs. People who have TRVL are not selling. Yeah, the volume's dropped off because no one is selling. And in my stream yesterday, I explained that people are hesitant to buy except the dips because we're in a low liquidity environment. Why are we in a low liquidity environment? Well, it's very simple. What has happened is that a lot of people have sold in this downtrend, and the price has basically almost reversed most of the selling. Yeah, so anyone who sold underneath this point here is basically, they didn't really need to sell because the price is right back at above their point that they sold. So basically from when we came into this lower part on the 9th of June, the price is almost reversed their selling. And now what I can see is it's difficult for people to buy back in. It's difficult to buy back in because of the liquidity. It's a lot easier to buy TRVL when the price is dropping and when the market is bearish. And now that the market is turning and it's become bullish, you see it's very difficult for people to buy back in. So I explained yesterday on Bybit in the morning, actually, before this drop, we had a really kind of look at this. Where is it? This is the candle. This is a 2 hour period. This candle, the price was bought up. It went up 20%, and the volume on that candle is 69,000, and the price went up 20%. Why is this happening? Well, no one's selling. It's really that simple. No one is selling. No one is putting orders. No one is putting. I'm not. I'm buying, and the TRVL that I'm taking, I'm not putting it back on the exchanges. I'm taking it off. I bought TRVL yesterday. I'm not putting it back on. So I'm just what's happening is that slowly more and more TRVL is leaving the exchanges, and it's becoming an extremely illiquid environment because I'm bullish. I'm expecting much higher prices, and I'm looking at the higher time frame chart. I'm seeing a higher time frame triple bottom. I'm seeing a higher low here. That's a higher low. And I'm expecting much higher prices. I see the partnership with Fetch. I see that the bull market, the alt season is about to start. Why would I sell now? I wouldn't sell. And so a lot of people have just heard about this announcement, Fetch. They're looking to position in. They can't because no one is selling, but they don't want to buy and push the prices up 20% with small amounts. Eventually, people will have no choice. If they want to position in, they'll have no choice. Eventually, that's when you're going to get expansive moves. And actually, what I really want, and this is what I'm kind of hoping for, is that we can break 9 cents with volume. This is the level to smash. We need to break 9 cents with volume. I think we will. I think once the bull market really commences, the parabolic moment, we'll be able to break 9 cents with volume. And I think then it'll be a lot more liquid because then a lot of people will start to buy and sell a lot more. Yeah. At these lows, I think what's happening is that it's become extremely illiquid, and you see the volumes dropped off because no one is selling now, because everyone sees what I see. They see a really bullish market structure forming, a higher time frame triple bottom, higher low on the third bottom. And I think a lot of people are going to wait now until 9 cents is broken. Yeah, that's when the volume will increase, because then people will start to skim and take profit at higher prices, and hopefully then we're going to be in the full-on parabolic Bitcoin move, and maybe then retail will come, and hopefully we'll be looking to see if retail will be willing to take the price of TRVL to much higher prices. That's kind of what I'm imagining for the future, with a big rotation of capital. So I think when I look at all the charts, TRVL didn't flinch. You look at yesterday, I was looking at it compared to the other market cap, which I've been looking at recently. Yeah. And, you know, actually yesterday when Israel attacked, look at this, TRVL went up. This is it. This is the candle. This is at midnight. TRVL actually went up. You see that? That's basically telling me that the rest of the market dropped, but TRVL, in comparison to the rest of the market, went up. It's the same kind of behavior. Look, you see, that's when Israel attacked Iran. This is compared to Fetch. See, TRVL actually went up. Yeah, I'm not saying that people bought TRVL. I'm just saying that people sold Fetch, whereas TRVL, they didn't flinch. You see that? TRVL actually went up in value compared to the rest of the altcoin market. Now we're getting a little bit of interest back into the markets. You know, people are like, okay, this was a shakeout, let's just reposition. If we were shook out, let's get right back in. And what I'm seeing now on all I sold some coins, of course I did, and I repositioned. And what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be looking at some other coins and seeing which are the strong ones. But honestly, I think TRVL is a strong one. It's just hard to buy large quantities without moving the price. So when you get these dips, these are really good opportunities to buy TRVL. Yeah. Really good opportunity, because you can buy now, you know. So now if someone's looking to buy, yeah, if the price can go up a few percent, you don't really mind, because you're still in the range, you're at the bottom of the range, and we are kind of forming higher lows and higher highs. Peter Dell, it's a little way of crypto market moving. I reckon when Trump wins, hopefully Trump will win, it's the start of super cycle. Are you're dreaming about the super cycle? Why not? RH is saying thank you. Can you please chart Mudang? I will freak out. I'll definitely do that. I'm going to do that now for you. So yeah, so with TRVL, the most important thing for everyone, if anyone is really interested and you have a little bit of TRVL, just go to the Dtravel X account. Just keep on liking and post and sharing their posts. It's really important, because we had a little bit of a summer lull. I wasn't around for a couple of months. Maybe we've lost a little bit of the momentum. Let's rebuild the momentum just before the bull market is about to go parabolic. Let's kind of re-engage with these posts. If we could like, share, maybe comment on the Dtravel posts, let's get the word out. You don't have to share everything, but at least give it a like. A like doesn't hurt. And you know, let's get people aware of what's going on. It's really important that we can do that, at least like. And that, what that does is that helps with the X account algorithm, and it helps kind of get Dtravel out into the world, into the crypto world. So if everyone can do that, let's start doing it again. We had a little bit of a summer break, it seems like, and now we're back. So let's just kind of try our best to kind of help Dtravel to expand and to grow. And obviously we've had our Friday announcement. I went over it yesterday's stream, and oops, what's happened? My screen disappeared. What did I do? There it is. And it's just there if you guys want to have a look at it. We get an update every Friday. It looks like they're doing some stuff in Brazil, some interesting partnerships, and yeah, we get that every Friday. So you can look forward to a weekly update on Fridays every week, and it just gives you up-to-date information on what's happening at Dtravel and the future developments. I think there are some big announcements coming soon. And obviously the one that we're all waiting for is the ability to stake, the staking aspect of the tokenomics is being implemented soon as well. All right, so that's Dtravel. Let me quickly have a look at Peter Dell's request, which is Mudang. Let me have a look at Mudang. I'm guessing it's here. I don't know. There it is. All right. Oh my God. Nice. Look at that. That was today, huh? Yesterday, look, yesterday it went up while everything was crashing. This didn't flinch. Look at that, didn't flinch. Last night at midnight, it went down a little bit. And that was bullish. You see that? It was really bullish. Didn't flinch. Oh, they got listed on Binance. Well, there you go. You can hold that now. Man, look at that. Imagine if you picked this up in September. They made 12,000% increase there. And you're still up on 9,000%. I don't know how these, like, I can't figure it out at meme coins. I've tried, but I really can't figure it out. How do people do this? This is September 24. This isn't long ago. I just don't understand. It was bullish from the beginning. Look, it was bullish from day one, 11th September, and it just rallied and rallied. Like, even if you got in on one day late, you still make 68,000% increase in value. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Anyway, I don't really know what you want me to look at. It's bullish. It's bullish. Would you buy here? No, you wouldn't buy here. But it's bullish. Oh, it's got a good story, huh? Most of the volume is actually in the highs. If you got a position a month ago, what's the position now? 26th of October. So you probably came in a bit somewhere here then. So you came in a little bit late. I mean, I don't really know. Look, this is all kind of impulsive, isn't it? This is corrective, and we're in the wave 3. You could buy now. That's a really high volume candle. Yeah. I mean, you could buy now, but this is the most expensive wave. Yeah. That was your wave 1. There's your wave 2. We're in a wave 3 now. I'm guessing 4 or 5. I'm just doing really simple analysis. So I think your target is a 618 on this which is $9.3 actually. I think that's kind of where you're targeting with a wave 3, if you're able to hold it long enough, which is another 3,000% increase in value. Majid, hi, how's it going? That's probably, that would be like a 618 extension from, let me just change this color, I prefer yellow. It's easy to see. That would be a 618 extension. That would be your first wave, second wave, third wave to the 618. This is a really high volume candle because of the Binance listing. So you're kind of, if you're trading it, if you're just hodling to just wait for higher prices. But yeah, I think probably that's your target if possible. If you can hold to $9, that would be a good place to take profit. And then if you get this is quite a flat correction. You see this kind of this corrective move here. This is quite flat. It was like an ABC. It's a zigzag, but it's quite flat. And I think probably this will be more of a deeper correction, probably, because you're going to have a lot of people who are positioned in from much lower. They'll be looking to take profit. This high volume is a big take profit. A lot of people took profit in that, and the price is still going up. So I think a nice big take profit will be that $9 mark, probably. And you can just keep it simple, really. It's a bullish chart. It's just going up. What's the market cap on it? Let me look. New dang. 240 million, huh? Crazy token. I'll keep an eye on that. I think that's it. I don't really think you need to keep it complicated. Just focus on those higher time frame fibs. 1, 2, 3. If you count 5 waves, 1, 2, 3. I mean, you've already, this is your first wave here. Can you see it? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You had your first wave here, having a flat correction here, and you're probably looking for another wave up, which will be your wave 3. Once this flat correction completes, another wave up, that will break through the all-time high, and then hopefully, if there's any chance of continuation, and we'll have to see how far the wave 5 goes. That's it, really. 1, 2. What the hell am I doing? It's not what I wanted. No, it isn't. Oh my god, my everything is messing up. I don't know where this begins, but let's say you get a really flat correction here. I mean, if you get a 1-to-1 here, it'll be up to 75 cents, 1.618 up at 1.7. But yeah, I think if you get up to, what did I say? $9. It's tricky because you might get these extensions on these waves might be a little bit more accurate. Yeah, I don't get it. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just shocking. I can't figure it out. All right, so that's Mudeng. Let me have a look at Voit, sorry, for Majid. I did have a look at Voit yesterday. So I mean, I've got some Voit, you know, I've got some. And who is it who asked me yesterday? This is the top part of the range. This is the actual full chart. Yeah, this is it. So I kind of explained it in my yesterday's stream, actually, Majid, but I'll kind of briefly explain it to you. I'm looking at a wave one move here, and now I'm considering an ABC here, an ABC here, and some sort of 5 waves here to complete this flat correction. This whole thing is one big flat correction. Yeah, that's what I'm imagining with the price action at the moment, right? This is looking very neat. It's looking very neat, this corrective move, because if you look at it, it looks like an A, B, C, D, doesn't it? It looks like an A, B, C, D. And I've kind of roughly calculated the one-to-one. So we're coming into that area of time, a real important time pivot, somewhere in the beginning of November, first or second week. This is not accurate. These pivots are time zones, the areas, okay? And the best place to buy this token, if you're looking to buy some more, would be lower down. You could scale in. It's good with these tokens to just continue to dollar cost average in, but I think obviously I'd like to see, if possible, this level here, if we do get a dip, to hold the support. And then that's really when I think the correction will be over, because you've had a really expansive first wave here, about 6,000%. And then you've got a really kind of extended correction here. This correction has basically lasted, fucking hell. It's basically 2 years. It's a 2-year correction, isn't it? Wait. No, not 2 years. The peak here was in February 23. Yeah, it's a 2-year correction. Come February, it'll be a 2 year. So it's just underneath a 2-year correction. I thought it was possible this was some kind of 5 waves continuation. That would have been your initial ABC. But the reality was that we lost this pivot. I've explained this in previous streams. We lost that pivot. So actually what you want with this 5 wave correction is you can't lose it, because that's your 1. This would be your 3. And then you have a corrective move to find support for the 5. We lost it. And so what happened is this changed. The structure of this correction changed. And instead of a 5 wave move up, we ended up with a ABC. And now we're in a 5 wave down, potentially to complete this corrective move. Some sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're coming to the end. I think we're coming to the end. And based on these time pivots, the time pivots is from there to there to there. I've got the one-to-one coming in the first week or 2 of November. Okay. And it could bottom out here. Like, no one really knows exactly when the price is going to bottom out. This is the reality of crypto. No one really knows. No one has a clue really. But I think if it comes down to here, it would still be okay. If it comes down to 0.054, it would still be okay, because that would make sense. It's just cleaning up all of this gap in this impulse. It's like a little bit gaps formed in this move, and it will be the value area low of this range. And then what you'd want to see is an impulsive move from this area. And honestly, it's really hard to predict impulses and how far they go. everything is largely to do with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin drives everything. But because we've had quite a long correction, long corrections are bullish. Yeah, so this is a long flat correction. It's like a extended flat. We had a really impulsive move here, 6,000%. We've had a really long correction here, some sort of flat correction. And I think we're probably going to have a really explosive move up. Probably. I think it's possible that we go up to the all-time high, to be honest with you. Yeah, which is there. That would be crazy because you're basically going from the current price, you're going up another 4,000%. It'd be a really crazy move, okay, to go up to the all-time high in that one shot. I think it's possible. But I think the next, I'm assuming that we kind of come to this point. It might be a bit higher. It just depends where this impulse begins. But I'm just assuming that we're coming down a little bit more. And that would give a 1-to-1 at the all-time high, roughly. An all-time high would be a 1-to-1. Yeah, roughly. But the 618 corresponds perfectly kind of roughly with this area here, which is where we found resistance. So it is also possible that we find resistance there. And then in this kind of structure, you'll be going, you won't be going up 6,000%, you'll be going up maybe 1,300% or so. And then if you have a 4 correction, the conditions of this 4 correction are that the top of one flips as support. That's really important. And then if that flips and you don't break the Elliott wave rules, then I think maybe the wave 5 would be to the all-time high. So I'm kind of expecting, I'm more expecting something like this than I am for us to go crazy straight to the all-time high, but everything's possible in crypto. All right, so at the moment I'm looking at 2 options. I'm not bearish at all because I'm looking at a higher time frame correction after a crazy expansive move, which was the wave 1, which started in November 22, almost a 2-year corrective pattern. And then I'm looking for continuation at all the way to the all-time high. Really, I am targeting the all-time high. I don't know how we're going to get there. I don't know if we're going to get there in one single wave, or we're going to have to take it in a couple of steps to try and get there. But this for me, this makes a lot more sense, just simply because you've had your really expansive move here, and maybe this next move you want to see quite a lot of volume. And the reason why you want to see volume is because now you want to see people who accumulated here to take a little bit of profit, and then you want to see a kind of, again, a bit of a shallow correction this time, not so deep, and then you want to see the top of this one flip. So I mean, potentially you could still correct 66%. So I think that would be a good place to take profit in any case, the top of this little range. That in itself is going to be quite a nice move from a current price. That's 1,000% increase in value. So that in itself is a nice move just to get to there. And you have to count the waves, you know, count the waves. It's always important to count the waves. At the moment, we're just still kind of correcting, waiting for that to happen, all right? So that's kind of my thoughts on this token. I have some of this token, so I'm carefully, that's why my charts are this one, my chart is so calculated. I am following this, so I'm happy to update on this. I'm really interested in strong tokens. The reason why this is strong is because we had a crazy impulsive move, and this whole thing is a flat correction. So even though maybe like shorter term moving averages might be to the downside a little bit, let me just kind of put this into its own group. Just to clean it up a little bit. And a higher time frame, when you look at the higher time frame, they're pretty flat. The moving averages are flat, aren't they? This is the monthly time frame. Those moving averages are not, they're not down or up. Excuse me, they're flat. That's okay, huh? One thing we don't want are crazy downward facing moving averages. So on the weekly time frame, they're not really down. They're kind of, we've been going up and down, haven't we? Up and down, up and down. And then obviously the real sign of strength would be to just get back up to and flip them into support, just like we did here or here. Flip it into support. Okay, that's the weekly 21 and 20 EMA. All right, and it's important like to look at the tokens and see which ones are strong. There's two types of strength that I'm concerned about. One is on big kind of black swan type events. How much do they pull back? Yesterday this only dropped 7%. It was actually quite good. And also I'm looking at how fast they recover. So we've pretty much recovered most of the losses. We're kind of at least 50%. And so I think it's quite a strong token. It's just, it didn't really flinch, did it, with yesterday's news? So I'm happy to continue holding that token. Not a problem. All right, that's that one. What else did I want to... Yeah, so I'm quite interested in SUI. All right, I think SUI is one to watch, actually. So I think if anyone is interested, you should definitely think about this token, SUI. The strong ones are the ones to be laser locked on. Yeah, don't, just because a token is already kind of pumping and it's already high, yeah, it doesn't necessarily matter, because it's all about narrative. It's all about liquidity and narrative. Yeah, SUI's just put in an all-time high last week, and the volume is off the charts. You see, the volume is really good. You've got a lot of buying to take the price up. That's kind of what you want to see. It's a relatively new token, isn't it? It's not an old, it's like May 23. Let me just, this is on Binance. Let me just check a SUI token on CoinMarketCap. It's got a $5 billion market cap, and you're thinking that's quite a lot, but you're talking about a layer one with an ecosystem that's growing. Yeah, if you look at the charts, you see that we launched May 4th of May 23, and look when it launched. It launched at $1.4 here, and right now we're trading at $1.8. It went all the way down to 37 cents here, 37 cents, and look, we're back at $1.8. Does that correspond here? Yeah, it corresponds here. So as far as I can tell, this is looking like a really hot token, and it's looking really bullish. So it's just something to bear in mind. Like, if you haven't got a position on this, it's just something to think about positioning in, because actually I think a token like this has every possibility of pulling off a Solana of the last bull market, something like this. Yeah, and when you look at the SUI ecosystem, yeah, let's have a look at it. Can we see it? You know, you've got a lot of different projects being built on this layer one. See that? Lots of different projects now. So you've got a growing ecosystem, and there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of attention on SUI, and I think when retail gets involved, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So you have that kind of this, so it's almost like you're getting in on Solana but much earlier. And so we launched, and look at where we are. We're still kind of at the same level. I really kind of, I'm feeling really bullish about this token. So I think, like, I'm looking at the charts. I see that we're kind of going sideways, but we're putting in higher lows and higher highs. The volume is really good. It's the value area low is the point of controls at the lows, but the volume is good. And you can see that, I mean, yesterday we did get a sell-off. Let me have a look at the sell-off yesterday. Look at it. Look at the price action. We're at the price of SUI actually came back above the moment that the price sold. You see that? So when you're looking at tokens, look, it dropped. It didn't drop that much, 10%, and it just recovered. when you're looking at tokens, it's really important to look at how they recover. And we've basically recovered all of the value. I actually repositioned my portfolio, and I went a little bit more hardcore in this token yesterday, because actually what I'm thinking with this token is that I don't see any reason why this doesn't pull off a Solana like Solana did in the last market. That's kind of where I'm thinking about this token. If you remember Solana, it went from kind of the dollars to $200 in the last market, so it did crazy amounts of increase in value. So I'm kind of thinking like that for this. So there isn't really much to do with this chart. I think it's bullish. Let me just update my my chart a little bit. It's put in a higher high. It's got a poor high. That means we're probably going up again. You see, because it's closed higher and then it's dropped down. There's a lot of volume, and it's still kind of holding higher prices. The recovery's been really nice. Yeah, I think it's really, look, it's bounced off this daily level, this back test. I'm feeling really bullish on this token actually. So I think, guys, if you're thinking about picking up a token, this might be one of the good ones. You've had your 5 waves there, and now we're in a wave 3. Yeah, this is kind of the wave 3. So I am expecting much higher prices on this token. I'll kind of have a look at it once we start breaking out. But yeah, this is looking really good. And then the other thing I wanted to kind of, like, when you look at the volume, let's have a look at the volume. So let's compare it. So what's the volume? Look, in the last 24 hours, it did $868 million worth of volume. So the market cap is 5 billion, and it did almost $1 billion of volume, and almost $1 billion of volume in the last 24 hours. That's a lot, huh? Look, it's an 82% increase in volume. So it's a really interesting token. Let me just have a look at Solana. Let's see what Solana's like. So Solana is now, in the last week, it's done $5 billion worth of. So I think you can compare them, can't you? Look, SUI is a $5 billion market cap token, and in the last 24 hours, it's done 868 million, almost $1 billion. So it's almost a fifth of the market cap is in volume. And Solana is less, it's significantly less in comparison. See, the volume to market cap, this is 6.2% on Solana, but on SUI it's 17.16%. So I'm really interested in this token. I think and actually I was looking at the SUI ecosystem yesterday, and I picked up a couple of tokens because I actually see that the SUI ecosystem is really undervalued. It's crazy. Look, top SUI ecosystem coins by market cap. Look at this. If you look at the ratings of these tokens, they're really lower. They're really low market cap tokens. So I think there's a lot of opportunities here. So I looked at I picked up some of this here. So I'm kind of repositioning my portfolio a little bit. Kind of just looking at this and going, what could be good. But they're actually really low market cap tokens. Look, all of them. And so if SUI starts to go crazy, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole ecosystem also goes a little bit bonkers. Yeah, so you've got a lot of good things here. It's hard to be positioned in everything, isn't it? But you're looking at some really low market cap tokens here. Look, really low. Some of these are meme coins, aren't they? But I did pick up another one yesterday. Which one was it? It was the Dex. It was a SUI. What was it again? Let me see if I can find it. Scan it. It was a Dex token. I can't remember what it's called. I have to check my phone. I'll go and have a look now. A lot of memes there. Walrus the Tusk. What is this? SUI ball. Yeah. So I mean, it's good to have Solana. I mean, Solana is a safe bet, but I think this is a really good bet too. This is quite an interesting speculative bet. I don't really know much about SUI, to be honest with you, except that when I look at the website, it's nice. SUI delivers the benefits of Web3 with the ease of Web2. I don't really know what that means, but it looks good to me. What was that? Dex, SUI Dex. Oh yeah. Let's see, 6 of 6 sectional SUI. Which one did I get? No, I didn't get any of these. SUI Dex. I'll have a look. So yeah, so I think if you haven't got some of this, definitely have a look. Definitely interesting. And the strength that I'm talking about is the recovery strength. So when you see a token has the ability to recover very quickly, that's an interesting token. Those are the ones that you should be focused on. I'll actually bring this higher up on my list. So I think Solana is a good one. Like don't get me wrong, look at Solana. And it's interesting because I actually marked off that level and it's come down perfectly to bounce off my level. And when you look at the Iran news yesterday, look, it went down. Solana, how much did it go down by? 5%. And look, it's recovered all of its losses instantly. So these are strong tokens. These are the ones you want, yeah, for a bull market. They're a lot safer than a lot of other tokens which crash but they don't recover. And so naturally, obviously, look, I'm looking at Slurf as well. Slurf is very much tied to Solana, and Slurf obviously recovered very well too. It dropped a lot, like a lot of big shakeout on Slurf, but you see Slurf is way above the shakeout price. So I think these are the ones that you should be interested in. Some tokens are weaker. Like I'm looking at my tokens now. I'm going, okay, this one is a little bit weaker. It dropped 11% and we still haven't got back to the top, to the initial price. I'm looking at some tokens now and I'm reevaluating my portfolio. And it's really important that you do that, because otherwise you're going to be hodling without hope. Some tokens are just weaker, you know. Some tokens are just weaker. I'm looking through all of them, and I'm just Ton was a good one as well. So I think Ton coin had a really nice bounce. Let me see where it is. Yeah, you see. So this is a good indicator. You had a really big drop on Ton coin, like a good 8%, and actually the price has recovered above the drop price. So this is actually bullish. This is bullish price action. This is a V-shaped recovery. It's really bullish to see this type of price action. Okay. And so have a look through your portfolio and reevaluate all your tokens. And this is the kind of price action you're looking for. You're looking for as little drop as possible, and then you're looking for a good recovery. So different tokens are different. You know, like when I compare it, when I look at TRVL, yeah, I mean, the recovery isn't as crazy, but the drop was insignificant. You know, like look at the drop. So sure, we haven't got back up to the top of the drop. We're still shy 2%, but actually the drop was minuscule. You know, it was a really negligible drop. So yeah, so that's basically that. I'm looking at all my tokens now, reevaluating everything. Yeah, and it's good to do that. All right, that's basically my my analysis for today. Actually, I don't really have anything more to say. Anyone's got anything to say? Majid, RH, Peter Dell. What else is there? What else is good? Doge is a strong one. Look at that. Doge is strong. Maybe I'll go through them now. Actually, I'll probably have a look through all my tokens now. Let me just pour myself a tea. I have a little bit of time. What time is it? 1:28. So I've only been streaming for 1 hour and a bit. Just have a little tea, and I'll just have a look through all my tokens. I totally reevaluated my portfolio yesterday. Maybe for the good or the worse, I don't know. But let me just get my phone and then I can have a look at my portfolio. Oh, here's my phone. All right, let me go through it. I go through them one by one. Okay. Yeah, SUI is such a it's a beast, really. And I'm gonna have to reevaluate everything. Let's have a look. Let me go to it quickly. So I'm going to go through them one by one. There it is. That can go now. Get rid of that for now. Where's that trend line? Get rid of this. Get rid of all of these now. That's good. Let's keep those. This is an important trend-based fib on SUI. How do I do this? Portfolio. Perfect. If you guys want me to have a look at any other coins, yeah, feel free to shout out, because I'm just here having a look at my charts. I'm just I've done what I wanted to do for today. Had a look at BTC, had a look at TRVL, had a look at this, and that's really what I want to do. I'm going to just sit around and update my charts a little bit. Celestia, John, I've got some Celestia, so I'll do that next, no problem. Let me just have a look at some things here. You see that it came into the 618, found a little bit of resistance, rejected on that trend base extension, and that's a trend base extension there. That's the next trend base extension. And then let me just do Okay, so looking for a little bit of resistance at 5.8. I can mark that down, see if that lines up. 5.8, yeah, that's the mark. You see, that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see big confluence levels on fib when you do fib extensions or trend-based fib extensions. So I can see on SUI that we're going to get really big resistance at 5.7, 5.8, because you've got three kind of fib levels based on this structure. Two of them are trend-based fib extensions, and one is just a normal fib extension on this pivot to this pivot. And you can see 5.8, you've got three lines that correspond. Here you've got a little bit of confluence at 4 as well. So, but this is the big one. This is the big resistance. How much is that in terms of increase in value from the current price? It's about a 219% increase in value. So like something like that will be a good place to cover or to take a little bit of profit and try and reaccumulate lower down. I'm going to put an alert for that level. Okay. So I've set an alert there. That's my big level in the sand. I'm going to ignore everything else for the time being. That's not a bad one as well. There's a little bit of resistance there, but this is the big one. All right, so that's my chart updated. Okay, I like that. I'm definitely looking to pick up more of this, and you can pick it up at good support areas, or you can look for good dollar cost averaging. It's almost touched the 236, so yeah, that little bit of a front run on the 236. Price has been bought right back up. Really bullish price action. All right, that's SUI. Let's have a look at Celestia. So let me just pull this up to the top. I like that. I want to keep the strong ones, my interested strong ones at the top. It just helps with my organization. So yeah, let's have a look at the dip yesterday. So we had a little bit of a pullback, 8%. And so you can clearly see it's not as strong as Solana or SUI. SUI is stronger. Yeah, so it's just a good comparison. It's a visual comparison. I'm not saying you should be all in one or the other, but it's definitely something to think about. Yeah, when you're looking to allocate value to your portfolio, you want to put more value in the stronger ones, and you're obviously going to have a portfolio so that you don't feel like you're missing out if and when these other ones move too. Let me just I'm just on my other screen. I'm also updating my port, because I rebalanced it and haven't actually updated it in CoinGecko. So I'm just having a look at it now as well, just making sure I do that. So let me go to Celestia. Bit of housekeeping on a Saturday. God, I've got so many listed here. I'm gonna have to do a search. There it is, Celestia. Celestia is a $1.1 billion market cap. Did I lose it? No. Let me just clear this shit. Let's get all this stuff in and see where we're at. Okay. What's the target on there? 100%. All right. Go to a higher time frame. Looking at the 3-day chart at the moment. Let me just update the volume. Just take into consideration yesterday's volume. Any changes? I'll have a look at the daily time frame. Any significant changes? No, point of control is still down there. Value area is value area high is slightly lower. Otherwise, it's a tricky one, Celestia. I'll tell you why. Because we've clearly had a five wave move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's very easy to see. And we had a really high, big increase in value from the point of control here to the pivot high, 786% or so. And now we're experiencing some kind of corrective move. And potentially, we've had our first impulsive wave. This is potentially your first impulse, isn't it? It looks impulsive enough to be your first impulse. So let me just mark that down. And this could be some kind of corrective move now. We're experiencing some kind of corrective move. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe to there or there. It doesn't really matter. Maybe to there. And we're having like a corrective move here. And then you're looking for another wave. And then, you know, we're looking for something like that, aren't we? Potentially. That would be your wave 1. So you've had your higher time frame wave 1 there. This would be your kind of smaller time frame wave 1. And you would be looking for another wave 2, and then a bigger wave 3, etc. And so potentially this whole thing could be some kind of higher time frame wave 3, and we're looking for the 1 we're looking for the whole one to complete first. Don't know if that made sense, but let me just draw it out for you. It's something like this. So we've had our big one. Now we're looking for our 3. We've potentially started it with this 1. So you're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be your wave 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to finish your 3. Then your 4. It can't come back underneath the pivot here. That's the rule. And then you can have a wave 5 as well, potentially. If you can hold that level, then you can have a wave 5. So we are looking for something like that to get to higher prices. I don't know how, I don't really know how far it will go, but it's just, that's what we're looking for. Now this correction is quite a deep correction, isn't it? It's a big deep correction. This is quite impulsive, and it's a V shape. See, that's a V, taking the highs. We've come back to somewhere around 50%, but we're still correcting. This is still corrective, yeah? So usually when it comes to V-shaped recoveries, usually it's like a descending channel, isn't it? There's 2 types of V-shape. There's a descending channel when you flip the top of the V. And in this case, it's more like a descending channel, some kind of descending channel. And actually, look, so there's your V. And now we're kind of descending like this. Yeah, that's kind of what's happening now. This is the price action. I think 50% mark of this move is very important. So there to there. It came all the way down to the 618, found support. But I do think 50% is really important. I think here is actually a really important level, 50%. The minute you start losing it, I mean, you could recover, but it becomes harder. Yeah, so you kind of want to flip 50% into support. You see how the price has bounced perfectly here from the 50% fib. But technically, this is correct. You just create a V and you're just forming a downward corrective pattern before we can explode. Whatever happens, we don't want to take out this low. This is really important. You take out this low, you invalidate this V. This actually becomes very bearish. Yeah. So if reasons that you can't explain, we make a lower low here, then we're probably going much lower. We're probably going down to here. So just bear that in mind. There is an invalidation here, and it's this pivot. It's really important validation. If I see the price take out that pivot, I'm not going to hope and expect this to somehow miraculously recover. That doesn't look right to me. A miraculous recovery after taking out this the V, the apex of the V is not right. So this is a bearish pattern forming, but invalidated, sorry, this is a bullish pattern forming, but invalidated bullish patterns are extremely bearish. Does that make sense? So taking out this low is extremely bearish because you're looking at a V-shaped recovery on this time frame, right? Confirmation will be to take out that pivot high. That will be a higher high on the daily time frame too. A confirmed bullish market structure change. So this is your lower low, that's your higher high. You put in a higher low potentially, and then you're looking to take out the pivot high for a higher high. Then you've got a bullish market structure change on the daily time frame. So that's kind of where Celestia is right now. Whatever happens, I think we've got strong resistance here, which is why I marked it. I don't know when it's going to happen, but there's going to be strong resistance there. The reason why there's going to be strong resistance at about $11 is because of you've got this kind of a confluence of fibs, golden pocket and the 236, and you've got some higher time frame levels, a monthly level, and you've got the value area high, all at the same area. Yeah, so whatever happens, when we do get to higher prices, we're at about what is the price now? It's about $5.3. I think once it gets to about somewhere between 10.5 to 11.7, we're going to get we're going to hit resistance, and it has to get through that resistance. But again, it goes back to my Elliott wave count, which I'm counting. If we do break up and find resistance there, which is what I'm expecting, I'm not expecting the wave 4 to come underneath the top of the 1 if this is the top of the 1 here. So the Elliott rules require this to flip. So whatever happens, I'll be expecting the price to flip that level for another attack. Now, whether that goes through or not is anyone's guess, but that's what you're expecting. If 5 waves up, that'll be your wave. This whole thing becomes your wave 1. And then you're looking for a 2 correction. 2 can be anything. It could be flat or it could be zigzag or something else. In this context, again, your invalidation of this whole structure is the pivot low here. But once you've completed the wave 1, you can zigzag all the way down as far as you want without taking out the slow for the next wave, the wave 3. But I think the flatter, the more bullish it is, and you'll see the price action. So if you see here that you complete 5 waves, you're into resistance, and you start to consolidate here in a flat way underneath resistance, that would be the most bullish. Short of us just going through resistance, that would be the next most bullish circumstance, and then you'll be looking for another wave 3 to break out and take us into price discovery effectively. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now, and everything changes as the price and the charts develop. Yeah, so this is kind of where we're at now. I don't think it's too bad. I think you have a really easy invalidation, which is this pivot low here. Oops, this one. And I mean, sure, yesterday's candle is fucking bearish as fuck, isn't it? Look, it's a red engulfing candle. We lost some sort of neckline there, and the recovery hasn't been great. Hasn't been a great recovery. A little bit of a dead cat, and potentially on this token we're looking to go a little bit lower. So I don't think it's not out of reach going lower here. You've got a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here as well, don't you? A little bit of a head and shoulders pattern. Not really, because the left shoulder is bigger, but you've clearly got a neckline. In this circumstance, the bullishness would be very easy to see, because if the price can somehow get back into the neckline, that's just really bullish. If that happens, then you can just buy, and you have an easy invalidation there. But otherwise, I'm probably thinking maybe we go down to test these lows before we can actually get some kind of impulsive move potentially. And I don't know when it's going to happen. No idea. But I think we have an easy invalidation. So it's just something to bear in mind. That's Celestia. I don't know if that helps. It helped me. It helps me. Yeah. See, here's a good one. It's not a bad token. It's certainly got a lot of hype. I don't know if it's worth $1 billion, to be honest with you. Is TIA worth $1 billion? It's a lot of money, $1 billion. I think SUI is probably more valuable than this. Oh, there's your ecosystem. Let's have a look. It's got a lot of stuff there, look. Shit. Stuff that I've never heard of. No idea. I mean, it's clear to see you got 5 waves. This is corrective, and potentially we're impulsing. This is the first impulse wave, V shape with a corrective pattern here, ABC. I think an ABC would work here. It'd be more like that, an ABC. It's bringing it quite low, huh? And you've got a bullish harmonic here, potentially, if that plays out. Because, I mean, it's great. It'd be scary for a little bit, but you have an invalidation, but you're looking at some kind of bat shape, something here. But you have to impulse. The point of these shapes is that if we're expecting an impulse, and then you have to clear that high. It's really important. If you get an impulse but you don't clear that high, and you just kind of it's like a met impulse, then that's not what you want to see. If you kind of go up there and actually you're coming right back down again, that's not what you want to see. You don't want to see that kind of price action. If you see that, then it's something is wrong with either the analysis, or the price is not doing what you're expecting, and then it's actually trying to do something else, and then you just have to reevaluate. Because actually, even though that it looks like it could be the wave 1, it could be just correction continues. You know, this wave 2, technically this wave 1 is not invalidated until you take out the low here. So as long as you don't take out the low there, this first initial wave is perfectly in play, and the price can come all the way down here, put a higher low here, and go up. And so while we're kind of trying to catch the waves, the reality is it's possible. Like, everything's possible, isn't it? Like, this could still be correcting. This could still be going down. This whole thing is some kind of correction, and we're actually looking to go down like that. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So no one really knows. But if we do now go up and take out this pivot, I think it's safe to say that we're bullish because we haven't had the confirmation yet. And obviously, if we do take out this low, then it's safe to say that we're bearish and we're still correcting, because that will invalidate this whole wave 1. This whole wave 1, you can throw it away, and we're actually continue. So we have we have some kind of parameters as to our bullish and bearish ideas. I don't usually count bearish ideas. I just know where the invalidation of the bullish ideas are. And it's always usually where the 0 point of the impulse is. So in this case, you can see the 0 point of impulse is here, and this wave 1 has an invalidation too. It's a 0 point here. So yeah, so shit happens, you know, in the world. And if for reasons that you can't explain, the price drops down here, guess what? This wave 1 is invalidated. That's your invalidation. You know that would then there's something seriously wrong with this market, and you know, you'd have I mean, that would be a hard stop for most people. I don't think anyone would be messing around this token if we lost the 0 point of that wave, that first wave. I mean, that's how you get these kind of crazy crashes like FTM, because there are hard stops when you're dealing with Elliott waves. Right, so that's Celestia. I'm just looking at it now, and I'm just updating my portfolio. The volume was quite good yesterday, huh? Good volume, heavy volume. The buy up is quite heavy buy up. The volume is dropping off, so it's not as strong as some others, but you're kind of slowly grinding up right now. You see that? Slowly grinding up. I think it's potential for it to go down a little bit further, but the reality with these kind of V-shaped recoveries is 50% mark is usually where I like for the price to finally come to a stop. And you see we did get a really perfect bounce here at the 50% mark. So it is possible that this is actually more like this. That is possible. Just because the shape, the ABCD pattern is like this, doesn't mean it's going to go there. It's just a pattern. You see, if it comes there, then you have more confidence to long as a trader. But the reality is that in a bull market, it could always fall short because you're actually creating a V shape here, and then this is just kind of a something like that of sorts. And actually it could just hold there and start going up. Yeah, so I don't, no one really knows how this is going to play out. Let me have a look at the weekly candle. Back into the weekly level. That's a good place to buy, actually, that weekly level. Yeah, the bullish green weekly reversal here had kind of like a doji, like a dragonfly in the high. That's bearish. Drop right down to the weekly level. Now potentially if it holds support there, potentially it could go up. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm not too, I don't think it's a, and it's got a big ecosystem as well. Not too bad. So let me just open the portfolio. Just updating all my portfolios. I'm not too stressed by Celestia, to be honest with you. Now there is a hard stop, huh? So looking at the targets though, let me have a look at the targets. Let's just imagine this did this has, the move has ended here. Let me just hide some of this stuff now. Just hide this. Hide these. Let me put these back. Right. So taking it back up to the just before the all-time high would be a 618. 1-to-1 is at $42. 1-to-1. So the first wave, $950%. Potentially, you know, potentially looking at the waves, I think it probably started here with this green, not all the way at the bottom. It probably started there. Maybe there. It's green impulse. And then how far up did it go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably ended there, actually. Did I have that? I've got it going up to there. I mean, it could have ended there. 3, 4. So actually, no, that's fine. Probably it could have ended there. So if it came all the way down to here, then you have a 618 here. The ratios are nice. There's a little bit of an SR flip here on the 618 here. It's a little head and shoulders pattern here. Break neckline down. You see that? That's how you know if your fibs are right, because they also line up with structure. That gives you confidence about, if you see fibs that line up like that perfectly, it gives you confidence about higher fibs. Yeah, so you confirm your fibs by matching them with something first. So that's your 1-to-1. Yeah, so if we get a 1-to-1 on this move, that will take us to $37. So it's a 1 billion market cap. We're looking at 7x, going up to $7 billion. And in these are extended ranges, yeah, 1.272, 1.414, and 1.618 is considered very extended, like at the limit of extension. Yeah, you wouldn't really expect more. It happens, but you don't expect it. You're not expecting more. So probably in this context, and you're looking for a wave 3. A wave 3 is always going to take the high. Otherwise, it's not a wave 3. Yeah. Otherwise, you're actually looking for an ABC and another ABC, and you're actually looking for a higher time frame corrective pattern. Yeah, probably with a lower high. Yeah. So if we're looking for an impulsive 5-wave move, we have to take out the all-time high. It has to happen, because otherwise you can't get your wave 4 and 5. Yeah, so we're looking for a 5-wave move, basically at the very least, I think, to take us to $1 to 1-to-1, which is 37. And then if you do, then there's some questions here. Is the wave 3 going to be shorter than the 1, or is it going to be bigger than the 1? So this is the 1 here, and a 1-to-1 would be the same size. That's why it's called a 1-to-1. It's the same size, 1-to-1. That'll be your big resistance in price discovery. Now, if the price can beat the 1-to-1, then that means the wave 3 is not the shortest. And so the wave 3 in Elliott wave theory can't be the shortest. If you do get a shorter wave 3 and you get a back flip of the wave 1, then the wave 5 has to be shorter. So you can't, wave 3 can never be the shortest. And so if we do have a wave 5, then after we have a shorter wave 3, then you end up with a kind of a MERT 5. And that's kind of how it works. And you kind of had that in this first kind of move here. If you look at this move here, you kind of had that. Look, see, you had a nice impulsive 1, a shorter 3. The 3 was shorter than the 1, and therefore the 5 ended up being shorter than the 3, ended up as the shortest. And so that's how you get these kind of structures which kind of diminish, because you had a really explosive wave 1. Okay, so usually one of the impulsive waves are the most expansive waves. In this wave it was the 1, but it was only 900%. So in the scale of things, maybe no, maybe there's, you know, maybe we could get a really expansive 3 now. Okay, so it's possible if we do get a Bitcoin parabola that we do get some kind of expansive move on the Celestia. Honestly, I would probably be if we do looking at an expansive move, I'll be looking somewhere between these two fibs and then what I usually like to do, like I've done in the other chart, is I like to kind of see if I can get some confluence between these fibs. So let me just have a look. I'll use the higher time frame now, the weekly time frame. So a trend-based fib extension is a good one, and then just a bog standard fib extension, assuming this is the pivot low. Bog standard fib extension is also a good one. Okay, seeing if there's any confluence. Nope. And then sometimes what I like to do is I just use the first candle, the launch candle, just this first candle here. Hard to tell, really. Nothing really stands out. Probably if we go past the 1-to-1, then here at about $42 to $43, possibly. So maybe I'll be thinking because this can be whatever. Possibly I'll be thinking there. Obviously it depends on Bitcoin. A 600% increase in value. I have some TIA, so let's see what happens. Right, that's that one. Let me have a look at some others. And bring that up. Let's have a look at cake. It's good to update your charts, yeah, and see what's going on. Oh, fuck me. This is cake, pancake swap. Last market was just unbelievably bullish, and I like it. I like this token. It's like the #1 DEX exchange on the Binance network. We've clearly had an impulsive move in the last bull market, clearly, and we had a corrective move, came down all the way to the value area low, had your 5-wave move, and now we're in a wave 2 correction. Did we have our first impulse here? Possibly. That could have been your first impulse with some kind of flat correction here. It's possible. But the good thing about this token, what I see is that we're holding a value area high. Sorry, a point of control. See that? I've just updated the volume. There's no changes really. We're holding the point of control as support. And potentially, as long as we don't take out this pivot, 1, 2, 3, looking for some kind of corrective move here to end, or that's the impulse. I don't know. All right. I'd be interested to see if this token is able to take out the all-time high from the previous bull market. I'd be interested to see that. Right. Get back up to $30, that would be big resistance in the first instance. 1-to-1 on this would be 242. Be interesting to see if we can get up to 242, to be honest with you. I don't think the market cap is that low, that high. $497 million. Oh fuck, it'd be a 14,000% X. It's not likely, huh? Getting back up to the 618 would be enough. It'd be a 1,500% increase in value. That's a lot in itself. A tricky one, this one. Is it bullish? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of moving averages are flat there. These monthlies are on the way down. It's kind of flat, and the moving averages are quite flat. Hasn't really moved. Yesterday's drop, oh my god, there was a gap. 6%. It's covered most of the gains. Let's have a look at the cycle top. Right. I think it's the only one that I have which exposes me to the Binance network, to be honest with you. I think all my other tokens, none of them are on Binance. This is the only one that I have which gives me exposure to Binance. And I think if the BNB coin pumps, this is going to pump too. The moving averages are quite flat. What is this shit? What's that candle? No, that's interesting. See that? No wonder. 1.618, 2 points. So you got a pretty strong SR flip at $9, and then I think the target big target's going to be there. The high is there. Where's the value area high? It's lower. Huh? It's interesting, but I actually think with this token, because we expanded quite a lot, this expansion was off the charts, no? From 20 cents all the way up to $40. It's like a 20,000% increase in value from these prices here. Even to get back up to there, you do looking at a 2,000 or so percent. I think really potentially what we're looking at here is a higher time frame corrective move, something like that. I actually wonder whether we will actually hit all-time high this time around, because we have pretty strong resistance already at $30. I can see it, and that's above the value area high, and that's also, you have to get past this $9 mark too. We've got a lot of trapped liquidity there. So what I'm actually thinking with this token is that there's a big move on the table, which is this next move, but that will be it. I won't be looking to take it into price discovery. And actually what you could end up with is your wave one, like that, like some kind of flat correction before you actually, like a higher time frame flat correction before you actually get the big impulse to take you up into higher prices, something like that. Right, so I'm going to set an alert. I'm going to set 2 alerts here. There you go. Leave that. That's my chart. Let me look at my portfolio. Heck is fine. Slurf. Let me have a look at Slurf. Ah, God, we're underneath the point control. So the recovery on Slurf has been good, and the drop on Slurf was like a 70% drop. Clean the lows here, bounced up into the point of control, rejecting from the point of control. Potentially we still got this Wyckoff in play, potentially, so we have to see how that plays out. This is really interesting. The value area has shifted. The value area low is now higher. So that's actually a really bullish development on Slurf, because the volume that's come in since yesterday has changed the value area and it's brought it up a little bit. We saw that. I'm using a combined chart here. This is the algorithm. So I'm getting quite a lot of good data here. And that really does change things a lot for me, because this is actually quite bullish now, because we're actually still in the value area, but the value area shifted. So these prices now, this volume that's been trading underneath the value area is cheaper. It's cheaper than the value area. This is really bullish. This is actually a really bullish development, I think, for Slurf. We broke out that trend line and we're still holding. We're still holding. We are kind of finding resistance, a little bit of resistance on the point of control. Okay. And then there's no confirmation until we can take out this pivot. This pivot's really important. If you take out that pivot, then you have a confirmed market structure change to bullish. At the moment, we've just put in a higher high, and now we're consolidating above this pivot here. That's all that's happening. So it's bullish consolidation. Obviously, if it goes down, it would still be bullish in a sense. In a sense, as long as you don't take out this pivot. But maybe not. It wouldn't, because you'd be losing the value area low and you've had a clear rejection of the point of control. So we're trying to reverse the price action here, I feel. Yeah. And a really bearish sell yesterday, but you get these bearish red candles engulfing, but you also get a really nice swing failure of the mini range low. So that's actually bullish. So bearish and bullish combined. Buyback right up to the point of control. The buyback was good. Yeah. Little buyback. Buy. Take profit. And so actually we're just kind of range bound here still. Nothing's really changed. We just came to the bottom of the range. That's all. And hopefully now we can go right back up to the top of the range. If it's consolidating here, that's what you would potentially expect to happen next, before the price decides to figure out what it wants to do, whether it wants to break out or do something else. So yeah, so this isn't too bad. This is looking quite good. I'm quite positive on Slurf. I have a nice position on Slurf, so I'm fully committed to this token, and Slurf's time will come. I feel that Slurf's time is going to come. It's hard to know what targets we're going to have, because we haven't really run yet. Maybe this is the beginning of a run, and maybe it's going to start off slow, and then we have a chance to attack higher prices. I think the game changer with Slurf would be if we can hit the all-time high. That would be like, it's only a 600% increase in value. It's not that much in the scale of things. It would clear all of this liquidity, and then maybe we can correct to attack higher prices. That's kind of what I'm imagining at the moment. But the great thing about Slurf is that we've clearly broken this trend line, and confirmation of this next move, this kind of bump and run type move, trend line break and resumption move, would be to take out this high. Yeah, so at the moment it's looking okay. It's okay. It's not looking too bad. You've got correction, reducing volume. This nice bullish green volume is still in play, and we're looking to just kind of backflip here, back test, and flip this back into support. Little inverse head and shoulders there, breakout, back test, and then kind of off we go to higher prices. That's kind of what I'm imagining right now on Slurf. Obviously that's got everything to do with Bitcoin. Yeah, so it's okay. I think Slurf is a pretty good one. Let's have a look at my other Slurf chart. No, there's nothing interesting there. It's just this one. That's just the Bybit perpetuals. All right. We update them. I've got Pulse Chain here. Let me have a look at that. Oh, that's had a big pullback. That's bullish. Look, yesterday the drop, big drop here, right back above the drop. You see that big drop, midnight, and it really is looking bullish. That's kind of what you want to see. You want to see not much of a drop, 3%, and the price is actually above where it kind of dropped from. So that war in Iran, that news Israel is attacking Iran, didn't really bother this token, did it? This is on MEX. I could probably have a look at Pulse Chain on Dex Screener. So let me have a look at that. Portfolio, where is it? Not portfolio, watch list. Okay. Point of control is flipped back into resistance. Getting a classic A zigzag corrective pattern here. That's what it looks like. One, two, three, four, five. It's kind of like that, isn't it? That's your corrective pattern here. A zigzag look. So see that? So you had your 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to there. Little ABC here, ABC all the way down to here. Little ABC here. So that's your WX, and now we're going down again. Maybe in 5 waves. It looks like 5 waves down, not an ABC, like a 5 wave down here. ABC, ABC, 5 waves for WXY. Let me have a look at this extension. Yeah, we could basically almost finished, huh? Almost finished 1-to-1 on that move. Brings us down to this level here. Potentially that's it. It's very close. Let's have a look at the timings now. '28th of October, like Tuesday. Name, how's it going? Let me guess, you want me to have a look at Claw? Yeah, but I think this is looking good to correct to the golden pocket again. No, you know where it's going. Well, I'll have a look at. I bought some actually, so I like to dollar cost average into these things. You know, I'm not really fussed about catching the absolute. No, I'm not trading. So when you're not trading, you just dollar cost average. If you're trading, it's very different. You set alerts. You've got to be very fine with the execution. You quickly take your profit. I think this has the potential to drop another 10% actually. Just looking at it. Okay. That's fine. There is Claw. Oh, look, it had a really nice buy up, huh? Oh, shit. It hit the level, huh? Amazing. Look at that. I didn't even pay attention to that. My TA is on point. What the hell? Sometimes it's on point. I don't know. I take that as a really nice thing for you to say. Thank you. Yeah, I have a bit of Claw. I bought some. Let me just update my portfolio because I haven't updated my portfolio yet. So I'm not gonna like have you come on my stream every day and not be invested in the token that you want me to have a look at. That doesn't make any sense. If someone wants me to do TA on their token, of course I'm gonna have some. That's the mistake I made last time with when I was started my stream last year. People coming on with these really bizarre, obscure tokens. They look good, and I didn't buy any, and then they fucking pumped, and my TA was on point. It's like shit. Why didn't I buy any? I'm not gonna make that mistake again. All right, let's just have a look at this. Like, who could have predicted that Israel would attack Iran? And if you remember, were you on yesterday? I was bearish yesterday. I was like, yesterday evening I was really bearish, and altcoin dreaming was on, and he was like, he wasn't too sure, but and then suddenly Israel attacks Iran and the whole fucking market dumps, and it's like, oh, that's fun. All right, so let's just see where we're at with Claw. Let's just clean this up a bit. Oh god, I've got a lot of brush strokes. What's my long position? That's from top there. That was, I did that a long time ago. Let me see what these brush strokes are. Look at that, that's nice. Yeah, basically kind of that's the area, isn't it? So I kind of know what I was imagining. You've completed your ABCD basically, and let's just see, because now we want, this is the thing, now we want to see the right kind of price action. Otherwise, we've got the first part right, but maybe it's trying to do something else, and that's the challenge. So it depends what we're imagining to begin with, and so this is really important to see. I mean, you were the one who called the 5 waves, right? You said the 5 waves were a little bit earlier, 1 2 3 4 5, and this was running flat. I didn't say that. You said that. I think you said that, yeah. But then I also said potentially that is your 5 waves, and we won't know until this does something else. And so that was the question, isn't it? This is the next question. What is it doing something else? And we have to be able to spot that as quickly as possible. So let me just kind of hide all these levels now because they're not relevant. And I'll do a quick volume pull just to make sure. I always update the volume when I look at a new chart just to see if there's a change, because that can impact everything. Like Slurf, I just looked at Slurf, the value area shifted, and it's actually made me more bullish on Slurf, yeah. And so you won't know until you just update the volume and see if there's a change, and that's why it's good to mark those levels out. There's no changes, as you can see. There's no changes. We are underneath the value area high, you see that? So that is potentially a problem, but we are also above the 382. So we are underneath resistance, above support. The support is arbitrary. It's like a fib support, but the resistance is a key support resistance. It's a value area high. And what you don't want, it's really important, you don't want acceptance in the value area. Yeah. Now this, we left the value area, we came back in, we tried to stay in, but immediately it popped right back out. So that's not acceptance, that was a rejection. We need the same kind of behavior. We need a rejection, because right now, as you can see, we're in the value area. If you get acceptance, then actually it becomes bearish. It's like you're at the top of the range, and we don't want acceptance in the value area, because if you do get acceptance in the value area, the price is trying to get to the point of control. That's the destination, that's the target. It's just the way the price works. So you have to keep an eye out for these things when you see that the price is coming to the value area high, and that's why it's important to keep on updating your volume. And the other thing we can do here is let's have a look at the volume from here when we came past the 236, and you can actually see this is quite interesting. So from where you see where the candle comes into the 236 the second time here, do a volume pull, you can actually see that there is a arbitrary value area, and we've actually bounced off the value area high, which corresponds with the 382. So this is quite nice. I think if we start to kind of come down here, that would not be good. then we're definitely coming down here. And then if we're coming down here, then my count was more correct than yours. And that's the question. We don't know. We don't know if it's your count is correct or mine. We just don't know. No one really knows. Yeah. So initially, we're going with yours, which is some kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and like a running flat idea. But now this has to explode. It has to, because that's what you're expecting. You're expecting impulsive behavior. And it doesn't always have to explode immediately, but it's quite easy to see if the price is going to explode or not, because you have a key level that it has to flip back into support, i.e. this higher time frame value area. So whatever happens, we're going to have to get back above there, and an arbitrary flip, like a lower time frame flip, and then we're probably heading to higher prices, probably. The great thing about this right now is that this is a higher low, and we are in bullish market structure, aren't we? Because we've put in a higher high, higher low, and we've changed it. So we obviously don't want to take out this low, because that suddenly becomes slightly bearish if we do that. So far we haven't done that. So we're at a really good place to buy. But also now what we want to see is this high taken continuation, bullish continuation. We want to see that, and I think we will get back above this value. I don't see why we wouldn't. I don't see why the price is just going to linger here, because of this kind of harmonic structure that's been formed, this ABCD structure on timer. It's amazing how the timing panned out as well, 1-to-1, that it's almost on time. Which pivot do you take? It's subjective, but it's almost on time, isn't it? Who would have thought I could predict a country attacking another country with the charts? All right, so it's still bullish. It's still good. It's a good place to buy. We have taken the liquidity from this higher time frame level, which was this daily level. So these daily levels, they're still in play, but they're tapped now. They're tapped levels. And on the weekly time frame, you're looking at weekly candles, obviously. So if we can get a nice weekly close, and it's just heading here with a higher low, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow, because if we get a close above the previous week low, then this is going to look really bullish, because we've got a weekly close above the week low, previous week low, closing above the value area high. It will just look really bullish. It will look like we're flipping some kind of higher time frame level. All right, so I think tomorrow is going to be a really important day for all of crypto, and to see where prices close. Right now, when I'm looking at it, and you know, I didn't do it, you know, the drop yesterday, look how amazing this price action is. I've been looking at all my tokens today and just seeing the price action of the drop yesterday. It was at midnight, wasn't it? Here. So this was the drop. It initially dropped 3.5% or so. We had a little bit of bearish continuation, and it dropped a further 3.5–4%. So in total, from the moment Israel attacked Iran, we dropped 8%. And look how the price has recovered immediately. Look at that. Look at this kind of recovery. Really bullish recovery, that is. Like really bullish recovery. That's what you want to see in your tokens. Like when you're looking at your portfolio, look at the drop, look at the recovery, and if you see strength in the recovery, or you see the drop isn't so crazy, then you're looking at a good token. You're looking at, so I think this is quite a good token. Like I'm looking at it now. I'm feeling good about my position actually, and you know, we'll see. Now, bearish situation here would obviously be taking out this pivot low. That's going to really be bearish, because you'll be looking at going from a higher low to a higher high to a lower low. That would be like an inverse V, isn't it? Inverse V-shaped recovery. then the only way to recover a lower low here, the only way to recover a lower low here would be another V. That would be a megaphone, but that would be really bullish. Yeah, because you're going from a really bearish situation to a really bullish situation for a megaphone. And if that was to happen, then you're probably going to be fucking going to the moon, right? That's so these shapes interlock, and they can change depending on circumstances. So at the moment we're looking at a higher low, an ABCD pattern, which can easily change into something else, which can easily change into something else depending on external factors or liquidity issues or whatever, you know, sentiment, lots of Bitcoin. So at the moment we're looking at just a bog standard ABCD corrective running flat. Now what we want to see is an impulse, right? If we don't get that, lower low, and if we don't get a V shape from the lower low, which is what you'd want to see if you're a bull, then you're probably looking for a lower high and the market structure change here, possibly. Then you'll be looking to fill this gap all the way down to down here. Okay, then I was kind of more correct. No one really knows. This impulsive move is still valid because the invalidation for this impulsive move is where the impulse began here, right? That doesn't change. So whatever happens, the invalidation for this impulsive move is down here. Right now we're trying to see where the correction ends. If this is some kind of ABC, so let me just kind of imagine the price right now. Say that is an ABC. So you've got your first, let's say the correction continues. Could we get another ABC like this, like a higher time frame like this? Is that possible? It definitely is possible. Everything's possible. So you're not getting an impulse. You're just getting a pullback to a 50% fib. 50% there. And then you're getting continuation on this corrective move, right? Let's kind of move down here to get a little test on these highs, clear the liquidity from these lows. You are actually doing a zigzag. Huh? It's a zigzag. WXY. It just looks really funny because of the way it initially initially put in the first ABC, but actually you're potentially still doing a zigzag. Yeah. If this is lower, obviously if this is a bit lower, we have to see. If this is a bit lower, then you're obviously looking to go a little bit like this. All right. So there are a few possibilities here. Again, it wouldn't technically be an inverse V, because an inverse V would have to take the low here now. It'd be something slightly different. It would look bearish. Yeah. It'd be like a head and shoulders pattern, wouldn't it? But actually, those can become really bullish, because if you break down from a neckline of a head and shoulders pattern, and then you just get right back up to the neckline, above the neckline, that's a fucking bullish pattern. So invalidated bearish patterns are ultra bullish. Yeah, so a head and shoulders pattern is bearish, but if you invalidate it, it becomes bullish. The actual structure is an invalidate. So you never see anyone teach you this, but invalidated bullish patterns are bearish, invalidated bullish bearish patterns are bullish. So you invalidate it by getting back into the neckline, because you can't, with a head and shoulders pattern, you can't get back into the neckline. And then it becomes bullish. And then that's when you get an impulse. And so actually you're actually doing some kind of WXY. Usually with these WXYs, I don't know, sometimes you get ABC, ABC, ABC. Sometimes you just get a 5-wave move at the end. There's different combinations. So it's good to just see. It's easier to tell when you get an impulsive move with a sign of strength. Yeah. So I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just don't. I think, look, right now it's looking a little bit impulsive, isn't it? There's a bit of impulsive buying here. But you need follow through. And if we are doing an ABC here, you would expect this to be somewhat impulsive, because you've completed the first down part of the correction. You're in the up part of the correction. So usually this W is the most impulsive part, but it doesn't have to be the impulsive move, because it could end up with 3 waves and you could still be correcting. Oh yeah, of course, BTC, fucking BTC. It'll be a great day one day in the future when we don't have to rely on BTC. But we don't live in those times yet. It'll be amazing. It'll be like the stock market. You know, the stock market doesn't rely on Apple anymore. Sometimes Amazon can pump the stock market, or Tesla or Google or Microsoft can pump the stock market. We don't live in the time, like right now we live in a market where if we only have one royal stock, Bitcoin, and everything else depends on it. But it'd be good if you live in a world where you've got like 5 gems, and even if Bitcoin does poorly, the other ones can hold the market up. So that's kind of where we're at. That's quite an impulsive. Look, it's quite impulsive, but it's still not like, look, I'm just looking at these candles. This is a reversal pattern. Actually, this is quite bullish. Let me just hide all this shit. This is a bullish reversal pattern, isn't it? You've got 2 reds. You've got a dragonfly doji, probably high volume. Where's my volume gone? Oh, it's disappeared. Probably high volume. Then you've got 2 greens. It's like a reversal pattern. Another red, and maybe this is it. Maybe this is the move. Yeah. So, but what you want to do now is count 5 waves. So just counting 3 waves to stop at some kind of 50 fib would not be impulsive for me. And then it'll be like, again, it's either going to be an ABC here, or it's going to be a 1 2 3 4 5. And if it's a 1 2 3 4 5, then the rules apply. You have to follow the rules. You'll see the 4 can't come underneath the 1, the 3. If the 3 is smallest, the 3 can't be the smallest. Yeah. And if you get a 5 wave there, you have your invalidation, which is here. That's where the impulse began. Then you have a correction, ABC. And then you have the next impulse. You know, that's how we just have to follow it. Confirmation of an impulsive move is clear. You take out this high. Then there's no bearishness here. It's just continued bullishness, because that's just higher high. It's bullish. You've gone from a higher low to a higher high. This whole thing is continued bullishness. Yeah. So if you see that, then I think with the impulsive move, with the 5 waves, and you'll be thinking to yourself, no, this is it. This is the bullish move. We're in it. So you have to kind of look at it in hindsight a little bit. All right, so that's basically this. And it's good because I got some as well. So I can be excited when this starts to pump. And then the other thing I'm doing right now with my tokens is, let's just chuck this in here, is I'm trying to do some targets as well. I'm trying to do some higher time frame targets on all my tokens, and I'm trying to set alerts. So I've got the all time low here. I can't remember why. I'm going to do that now. Did I do it before? I don't think I did. Right. So that's my first pull. And then I'm going to do a trend-based one. How did I do my Elliott waves here? I just started it there, didn't I? Got alignment up there at 19 bucks. Tricky. Let me just do it from this one. 2, 3, 5. Just do it there. This is easy. $2. 20 bucks, 20 bucks. You see that? You've got quite good, it's quite high up, yeah, but you've got 3 fibs that come in at about $20, just based on 3 different fib extensions. That's definitely going to be the strongest resistance in price discovery. Yeah, that's a very far away. It's a 20,000% increase. I wouldn't say no to that, but if for some reason we wake up and it's at $20, sell everything. Sell it all. Let's have a look. It's only a 23 market cap. It's doable. It's doable. 23. Why not? It's AI, isn't it? Let's see how much that would be. How much percentage did I say to $20? Fuck. 21,000%. So a $1,000 position would give you $210,000 at $20. So it's basically, you're basically looking at a 210x, or say 200x. So if the market cap is 23 million, then this project would have to go to a 2.3 billion market cap to hit $20. 2.3 billion. Yeah, why not? it's a look at it. Why not? Let's do it. Let's get to $20. What do I do with my tokens now? I should buy some more. Huh? Fuck me. I don't know what to do with my tokens. Have you staked them? Who knows? You never know. Shit happens though in the world. If this is like, I don't know why it's AI. It looks like more like AWS to me, like a marketplace where you can rent other people's computers, right? That's what it looks like. So I don't understand the AI part of this. Yeah, it's a deep in project, layer 1 and AI. But where does the AI come in? That's what I don't understand. Because for me, this looks like AWS, and so I'm guessing that I could just chuck my computer, set up a computer, chuck it on this marketplace, and someone can rent it on this marketplace for their applications, and they'll be paying me in crypto, right? That's basically what this is, isn't it? My servers, which is good, huh? So if you've got free electricity and you invest in some computers, then you can just leave them on and someone can rent it out, and you can just make it be like, it's like Bitcoin miners but for just normal applications, and you just need a fast internet as well. But I don't know what the AI comes in, so I'm just trying to figure that one out. It's like a peer-to-peer. It's amazing. Huh? This is a really amazing project. I really hope it does well. Cloud storage, Dropbox for that, February 2025. Mining marketplace. Creating a marketplace for AI and ML models where users can buy, sell, and exchange models. Launching a bounty program for finding and fixing security vulnerabilities. Automated, and it's a lot of the stuff is in 2020. I hope we don't miss the bull market, to be honest with you, because they've got a lot of good stuff coming down the line. Are we going to see a super cycle? That's what everyone's been talking about, huh? Some kind of Trump super cycle where you get a markup on all of crypto and it just doesn't come back down. A lot of people are talking about a pump and dump, but I'm wondering if Trump wins, that we actually get an unlock, a massive unlock on crypto, and then you could easily see these projects hitting the $1 or $2 or $3 billion mark quite quickly. You'd still sell. I mean, you're not gonna look, based on these charts, you're not gonna take big profits at 20, you know, like if you get to, if you can hold to $20, that's the thing. It's hardest part of this is holding. Is the hardest part. And so a large portion of that has got to do with timing as well. And it's really hard. People use different tools. I've got this Pi cycle top alert, which I'll be kind of following. If that triggers, that'll be an easy indicator, this Pi cycle top. But beyond that, it's really difficult, and so you have to kind of try and count waves. That helps. Counting helps, but also time-based fibs, which I use a lot. So, you know, based on this 1-to-1, that's March. Look, March. So wherever you put in, if you can count 5 waves and end somewhere in March on this 1-to-1, that would be it. That would be right. That would be right. You know, so you wouldn't really aim for higher if you've done a 1-to-1 like that. Something like that would look weird. And then if you do get some kind of parabolic like that and it lands on the 618 in December at $20, that would also be right too. Do you know what I mean? So this is quite useful, these time-based fibs, but they don't always, you know, they're not 100% accurate. So that's quite interesting. I might have to get some more. Getting a little bit of a bullish reaction here. Look at that. A little bit of volume coming in. I have a little bit of I'm gonna have to transfer some cash from somewhere. That's what I'm doing. I'm rebalancing my portfolios. So I'm trying to kind of scale back on shit tokens. And I'm trying to I could add some more. I can add I've got some. I'll do it now. And it'll be really good if Claw AI does well and they get listed on some other exchanges as well. That would be really, because it's only on MEX, isn't it? It's a pain, eh? So if they can get on any other decent exchange, Bybit would be a good one. Okay, that's Claw AI. I'm pretty happy to see a reaction there. It's looking really bullish already. Huh? Look, the daily candle, yesterday's day is almost reversed. Hold on, I've got to take this phone call. All right, sorry about that. My friend was like, "Why are you answering your phone when you're streaming?" I was like, "What if it's an emergency? gotta answer my phone." All right, that's pretty good. I look at this reaction, huh? I mean, if this is the first wave here, it's slightly hard to know. You just don't know, but this is how it begins. Do you think Fetch can keep dropping? Let me have a look at Fetch now, huh? Let me bring Chloe up to my list, because I had Rio. I've dumped my Rio. I saw this really negative post on X about Rio, and I hate that. I hate negative posts. If I see any kind of like serious FUD, it really phases me out. Let me see if I can find it. Here, no. 10 reasons why I'm bullish. I usually save these articles, but who knows? Maybe it's just FUD, fake FUD. Yeah, like who knows? You got a lot of people who are bullish, you got a lot of people who are bearish. But I saw this one article. It was yesterday, so let me see. Yeah, is that it? So much FUD about Rio, so it's time to buy more. What has Rio actually done? Any assets tokenized? What have they built? There's a lot of FUD around Rio right now, and I don't know why. Did I didn't save it, did I? Oh, here it is. I did save it. Is Rio really the king of RWA? The truth about the Realio network. Today we're publishing our investment case on Rio. Unlike our usual approach, we believe it may not represent a favorable investment opportunity. We feel it's important to address this today, given the amount of shilling surrounding Rio by Coles, who are omitting critical information for informed investment decisions. Rio has not tokenized any asset except its own product. The token has no utility. Team is not transparent with the community and has a, you know, when you read shit like that in a thread, in the fucking thread, then that's a massive red flag, dude. Like, someone has actually these guys have actually put in a lot of effort into this post. Looking at the profiles of the team members, it's evident that Rio has quite a large team with about 10 employees. However, this raises questions about how they have managed to sustain their team size without fundraising efforts and without having a fully launched product. Because their token value, I guess. I don't know. It's really bad, huh? It's like literally a really bad post. You couldn't get a worse post than this. Let me see what P looks. It's like 20 fucking points. This guy writes, LOL, I was saying this over a year ago, not to mention their uncanny ability to mention announcements. It's like a really shit post. I don't mind, you know, because Dtravel should be the king of RWA. All right, you wanted me to have a look at Fetch. Excuse me. Fetch had a really miserable day yesterday, didn't it? But all that's happened is it's come back into the all-time high. And it's got a nice buyback. Down 11%. That's quite a lot. It came back all the way to the top, and now we're putting it back again. So it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think Fetch is I'm really bullish on Fetch because of the structure. Like, we're above the all-time high. This everything about this is bullish. Can it fall back? I mean, the problem here is that you see it's coming to the value area high. There's a little bit of an SR flip here, and you're getting a little bit of a rejection. So could it go down to here? Of course it could. That would be painful for a lot of people because it's down like 50-60%. Yeah, it'd be quite painful for people to lose 60% of their value. And that's the problem with these tokens that are really like Fetch is like 13-12,000% up in value. And that's the problem with these tokens. It's hard to buy these tokens when they've already expanded so much in value, because any one of these people who have a massive portfolio could easily take profit and pull this price down, especially if when you get FUD like that. At the moment, this is looking like a bearish continuation candle, but the reality is you're coming into a weekly level here. You see that you've got a little bounce on the weekly level. There, a little bit of a front run, to be honest with you. Look at the daily time frame. There's a daily level there just underneath it, so you've got a bit of a liquidity zone there. Filling the gap. There's a little bit of a gap, this expansive move here, and you've just kind of filled the gap. We're above the all-time high, the previous all-time high. This is quite, this is quite impulsive, but are there 5 waves? I don't know. It's possibly, but it's difficult to tell. Could you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? It's possible. Or are we still correcting? We have to go down further. That's possible too. There's lots of possibilities here. So yeah, I think it's possible that fetch keeps on dropping. It sucks because obviously I want it to go up. I have some fetch. Maybe that's a wave 3. Maybe we're still in the wave 3 as well. 1, 2. It's tricky. I don't know. I'm not 100%. It's not an easy chart. 1, 2, 3. You've got your 5 waves there. You've got your corrective move down to there. And then you've got your next impulsive move here. I mean, technically that should be your next. This is it, because you're bouncing off the top of 1 here. Yeah, that was the bounce. And if that kind of falls underneath there, then this 5 waves is wrong. And actually it's like an ABC. Again, it's similar to some other charts where you have some kind of higher time frame flat pattern. And the problem with fetch is that it's expanded. It's like 10,000% increase in value since the 20th of March. That was the first bull market. It's really bullish, because the first bull market, and then it pulled back. To the golden pocket, a little front run, and then it began again. You see, at the end of 22. So I find it difficult to, and then we put in an all-time high. So we're in higher time frame bullish market structure on a monthly time scale. This is your pivot low. So technically we're 95% away from the actual low, not here. We're not going to go back down to there again. And then let me have a look at the daily time frame. That's your higher high. Lower low, high high. So we're taking out the high. So we're trying to put in a higher low now. From a low low to a higher high. We're trying to put don't know when it's going to come. I mean, it's possible that we just take out this pivot, but then we're underneath the value area. Let's have a look at Bitcoin quickly. Yeah, Bitcoin's got a little bounce, rejecting off the point of control. It's looking bearish now, huh? So we have to be careful with Bitcoin, because that's the reason why, isn't it? We need to actually reclaim that. And then the other thing we have to be careful, because if Bitcoin drops, you want to be in Bitcoin, huh? But I'm not 100%, because like a lot of people, I think Bitcoin's going to move first. So I think a lot of coins are going to bleed against Bitcoin, but it's really difficult, because right now what I'm seeing is that how much more can Bitcoin dominance go up? But it could, like it could be a crazy push up. I think 60% is the limit, but what I also see on this kind of Bitcoin dominance chart is this higher time frame value area. And here you can see we're trying to get back into this previous value area here. Let me see if I've done this right. Basically, yeah. That looks right. And you see right now, when you're looking at the BTC dominance chart, look, we've just pierced the previous value area low. Dare I say it, that's a sign of strength. And I mean, I do think we should reject at 60, but you flip that and look where you're going. You're going up to the top here. That's a Bitcoin parabola, potentially. That's when you dump. It's hard. No one really knows what's going to happen. It's just really hard to know. I mean, I think Bitcoin dominance should top up at about 60%. So anyway, let's go back to fetch. Could that just be an ABC up? Yeah, it could. We like to imagine impulsive moves as impulsive, but it's always possible that they're just corrective if you can't get the next wave. I'm not sure. I'm wondering if this is just an ABC, to be honest with you. I'm wondering if we're getting something like that and we haven't actually impulsed. It looks impulsive here, but it might still be corrective if we don't get follow through. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on fetch. And I want to be sure because I have some. Look at that. Look at that. Way back. All the way up to the 786. Can't hold the golden pocket. Oof. So it's this candle is really important to see where it closes. You close in the wick or you close in the body. I think you need to close in the body, but we haven't come up far. Like it would have been nice for this green, for today's price action to take us all the way up. Fill that candle. Hasn't done that. So there is a chance that fetch is actually a little bit bearish right now. It is a chance. This is a bearish candle. Point of control in the high. This is actually a little bit bearish right now. Let me see if the rest of the market's pulling back. What's that doing? Yeah, that's pulling back a little bit now as well. See, so the whole market's pulling back now. Everything's pulling back. Got a little bounce. Let me look at everything. So Bitcoin is really scaring everyone, huh? See that? And so we have to see what happens, because if we start losing we start losing this value area, our altcoins are gonna give a little bit of maybe what you'll see here. And this level is really important, so you have to kind of hold here. If we can't get that, then we get a bounce, another bounce, but actually you're looking to go continue. Yeah. Have a look. It's tricky because Altcoin Dreaming was talking about this being a leading diagonal. That's your wave one. And I think you'll be targeting 50%, which is just underneath this pivot for a corrective move, if that's the case. But then I also had yeah, I had the same thing. Look, see that? I've got a bullish cipher here. You get initial bounce here, which we got. See that? We have to find resistance on the point of control. We haven't done that yet. So bounces aren't good. I don't like bouncy price action. We made a higher low, but really here bullishness would be continuation to take out the high if it was bullish. Bounces are just traders longing and then taking profit, and that's their trade. Yeah, so they don't have any kind of other trade plan. And if the market sentiment is still bearish, then you're still going down because people start dumping their tokens. And so then you get another bounce lower down in the golden pocket, and if you lose it, then actually you're looking to target here, which is a bullish cipher on the golden pocket at some kind of 50 fib level, taking the liquidity here. You're looking for a reaction first. That's kind of what I've got in my mind, and based on the timings, that would be Sunday the 3rd. The weekend, when was that? It's next weekend, basically, next weekend, just before the American election. So I am wondering if, because this Israel attack has happened over the weekend, that the markets do pull back the whole of next week. It is on my mind. Okay, what does that mean? Should you buy, sell tokens? Should you sell them, try and buy back? I don't know. I mean, everyone has their own strategy for accumulation. I think it's good to rebalance on the strong tokens. That's what I've been trying to do now. I've been just trying to focus on the strong tokens, and the strength that I'm looking for, which I've been talking about, are ones that didn't drop much, and ones that were able to recover a lot. Yeah, like for me, Solana is a good one. Yeah, look at that recovery. So it's a good token. I think SUI is good too. And then I'm just kind of gradually looking at those tokens. Like you see, TIA isn't as strong. And potentially Celestia's going down to here. So, you know, like I'm trying to readjust my portfolio. Look, SLEF has given back all its gains. I'm not touching my SLEF position because I'm actually higher time frame bullish on SLEF. And it's one thing you can trade. If you're going to trade, you should just be trading. If you're going to just spot hold, you should just spot hold and try and accumulate and keep on averaging or rebalancing. Fetch. I like Fetch because it's holding a high at the all-time high, but I mean, you could get a shakeout to that would be down to here. That's taking this down 40%, huh? That's quite a lot. Can people handle that 40% drop in value on their portfolio, on their Fetch portfolio? Can you have to size accordingly? Let me have a look actually. No doubt, undoubtedly, Fetch is going to pump like crazy because it's an AI token. Let me have a look at this one. Looks like we're getting we had a dead cat, and now we're getting a little bit of Yeah, it's tricky. uh Undoubtedly, if today it's I don't see how today can be a bullish candle the way we're looking at it now. We're looking at a bearish candle today, to be honest with you, looking at Bitcoin. I thought maybe if we could kind of close with a bullish candle, you'd have to close above 50%. You'd have to close, this candle would have to close at least up there for a bullish kind of, to get a bullish reversal. But right now it's not looking bullish. Right now it's not. It's a shame, huh? Now let's see what happens here at the golden pocket. That's really important. The market's responding to it. All right. Yes, Solana's good. Look, SUI went up and then came back down. So possibly claw is not. Yeah, you see that? Possibly claw is actually just continuing the correction. Because you need, for impulsive moves, you need, the market has to be right. You know, the market, you're not going to get an impulsive move if the market is unsteady. Does that make sense? All right, I'm thinking about going now, getting with some stuff to do. All right, I'm gonna finish up for today. Good chat, and thanks for joining me. Got to keep an eye out for this. If we lose, see, Bitcoin is so important. Ideally, what we want here, I think, on Bitcoin is the price to not go down and just hold. If we can get some wicks, then maybe we can hold. Otherwise, the way it's looking right now, we had a nice bounce. It looked like we were trying to get back above the point of control, and it looks like we're trying to reject. Let me just quickly have a look at the order flow as well to see if there are any clues here. So we're back underneath. See, that's the problem. You see, the minute you lose the VWAP, altcoins start to get unsteady. And traders know. We're above daily open. That's okay. And we're getting some small liquidation bubbles now. I'm not seeing bullish divergences here yet. And so maybe that's what you want to see as well. I find it hard to believe that we're going to have like some kind of crazy breakdown at the weekend, to be honest with you. It's not likely. All of this is longs closing. I can't really see many shorts entering. Longs entering, longs closing. This price action isn't crazy. This order flow isn't crazy bearish because you're just getting longs closing. But that obviously that's going to have an impact on the market. Like right now, we just had some shorts open. See, 1.1 million, 1.1 million just now. Some shorts just opened here. And the price goes up. It's funny. So I wonder if we're going to start to grind down, to be honest with you. That would be the most painful for people trying to long, if the price just grinds and grinds. But right now it's looking a little bit bearish, and then that's definitely having an impact on the market. Yeah, definitely having an impact. So we have to be careful. If Bitcoin does break down, this is definitely going to go. There's no way this is impulsive. And then then we're looking for more of a corrective, an ABC here, down here, further down, probably down to here. All right, so just bear that in mind. All right, I'll see you later.